I know what you're all saying. Argent, 2 streams in one day, and you're doing another DSP video? Well, it's the end of the year, and as I've said before, I have to maximize that sweet, sweet ad revenue. It's going to go down to like 10% of what it was next month. So there's that. Also, there's just been a bunch of DSP related stuff that's happened the last couple weeks. It's all very interesting. There will be a return of Cavalry very soon, for those of you who are wondering. I just need to find a slot where we're both free. I went to him and I was like, look, dude, you're a good guy. Could you maybe just come on and just talk to my audience and just clear up some of these misconceptions? Yes, Merry Christmas, everybody. Before I forget, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. God bless everybody and a Happy New Year. So, yeah, he's going to come back on and we're going to talk through kind of some of the other stuff and take some questions from the fans. So, I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be cool. So, I had a good Christmas. Parents got lots of neat stuff for my parents. Gave some cool gifts to my parents. I got my parents a new monitor, which is cool. So they have a big screen monitor now for their computer. I don't think my mother understands what a monitor is, but yes. And yes, we do Boxing Day. We're not degenerates like those Americans. We do practice Boxing Day here. So I actually have the whole week off. So on that note, so I know there's hasn't been a lot of political religious psychology stuff lately. There's a couple reasons for that. One, I've just been too tired, frankly. Just as I've said, my job's really been working me to the bone. I'm trying to decide whether or not I should leave, and I've been there 2 years. It was kind of my first serious adult job, and that's hard. So I've been kind of stressed out about that. I don't really want to sound like Chris Chan by saying, "Oh, I'm stressed," but that is like a legitimately stressful thing. Also, just I've been having to work like 50, 60 hour weeks to try to make ends meet just to get through my workload. So there's that stuff. Also, I was doing the Evangelion series. Kind of what I kind of promised, at least to myself, that I was going to do is for, I think it was 3,500 viewers I did it for, or was it 3,000? But I said I was going to do all of Evangelion. I did all of Evangelion. Well, I'm posting them now, but they have all been made for by me. They aren't. It's not going to be Project 7. I'm just putting them up delayed so I don't spam. But yeah, so those are all going to be up. I've been doing a lot of stuff related to that, so I haven't had as much time for other things. But come the new year, don't worry, there's going to be lots of new. I'll get back into making more political content, philosophical content, that sort of thing. Just at this kind of year, I have to try to maximize views because this is the sort of year when time of year when ad revenue is really high. If you talk to anybody who does YouTube, professionally is a massive stretch, but anyone who actually makes money off of YouTube, ad revenue goes say from $1 per thousand monetized views to like $6. Evangelion. I saying it like Evan. But anyway, so just a couple notes on that. I had a good day with my family. Parents and I and my uncles and aunts. We all had a good turkey dinner together. My father makes a great turkey. My mother makes great mashed potatoes. So yeah, I hope for those of you with a family who could be with your family, you all had a good dinner together. I actually got my parents to come with me to church, and that was cool. So yeah, without further ado, our buddy Phil here has also been having a Merry Christmas, a Merry Darksyde Christmas, and he did, from what I'm told, a toxic stream today. So we'll see how late we can go. I'm kind of tired, but I figured I'd do this just to make a couple bucks. So without further ado, I bring you a very Darksyde Christmas.
during my future plans.
Oh, right. Let me just go ahead.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to my IRL, as they say on Twitch.
Oh my God! Oh, this is cringe.
I'd like to
this is cringe.
Watching this live on Twitch.
I'm sure you are.
For taking time away from your busy days. I know many of you are celebrating Christmas Day with your friends, your family, your loved ones. And to see you guys come out and celebrate Christmas with me is a really amazing thing. I want to say thank you very much for taking time out of your day to be here live on the stream with me and my ridiculous Christmas sweater that my girlfriend picked out for me. I'm excited. I hope you're excited too. It's going to be a really fun stream today. So, what are we doing? First of all, it's Christmas Day 2017. Holy crap. Boy, did this year fly by, right? And seriously, for me,
it did actually.
This year, passing by so quickly because so much happened. Some negative, some positive. There were just so many things that changed this year for me in my life.
DS positivity.
Literally, time flew like crazy.
Like crazy.
I don't know about you guys, but man, what a tumultuous year. And, you know, how different the future is going to be for a lot of reasons, okay? First of all, I want to apologize. I have a cough drop in my mouth because yesterday I did my big WWE annual fantasy holiday sims, and I went crazy on the couch, screaming and everything. Why wouldn't
you finish before you put it? I don't fucking know.
So,
nothing about this dude makes any sense.
And I will probably need more during the course of today's stream.
Didn't do them before.
Drinking and or whatever. Also, FYI, this stream is going to have several segments. What I'm planning on doing is a first segment here where I can do kind of an intro and I tell you a recap of my year and the ups and downs and everything.
Do the fucking cough drops before you start recording. Just have a cup of hot tea and sip it as you go. It's not like these things aren't rocket science. Get some nice peppermint tea. Peppermint tea is great for this. It'll open up your sinuses. It'll soothe your throat. Maybe get some like honey lemon. Actually, if you want like a home remedy, if you boil water and you mix in like creamed honey and lemon juice and you drink that, that really helps your throat out.
That happened in 2017 for me. All right, and then I have plans for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to take a break. Then there's going to be a second segment where I'm going to be talking all about Christmas, the history of me and Christmas and my family and the kind of stuff that we do during the holidays, Christmas traditions and the like. And what I want to do is kind of go more interactive during that segment and talk with people in the stream chat about what did they do for the holidays this year, what do they usually do, what are their traditions, and just have a little bit of a dialogue back and forth.
A dialogue. A dialogue where you don't actually talk to anybody.
Dependent on time.
You just take their money.
You're going to take or whatever. I may just do a total open kind of Q&A near the end of the
stream. That's not going to happen.
In a special segment for the holidays.
There's no way it's going to happen.
I'm going to probably break these segments up into different videos for YouTube. So if you're watching this on my vlogging channel, The King of Hate Vlogs, please be patient. Obviously, there's going to be more than one video here that you can watch. If you're watching on stream, it's just going to have breaks in between the segments, commercial breaks, so I'll play a little bit of holiday music too, so I can relax my voice. More than likely later I'll get like a hot.
And get some copyright strikes from that sweet holiday
tunes. That's kind of what's on the docket for today. All right. Now, FYI, difference between this and other streams that I've done is I will be doing shout outs for those who cheer, sub, and tip during the course of today's stream. And in addition, I actually said this on pre-stream. I'll periodically be checking, and if anyone actually pledges to my Patreon during this stream, right over here, I'll give you a shout out too. Because right now, Patreon is really important for me to be able to raise funds to help with my tax situation.
Pay bills.
People have been like, well, if I pledge your Patreon, I don't really get anything out of it besides the perk. You know, everyone else gets a shout out. I'll be checking because I get emails live when people actually pledge to my Patreon.
Well, then why weren't you doing this before then?
My Patreon, I'll also be giving a shout out for that. Okay, so FYI, there will be shout outs during the course of this stream. You'll even see pop ups and stuff coming up in the corner here. But I will ask this: please reserve kind of quick questions for the end of the show.
Fuck you, you detractors. You can only give me money when I say you can give me money.
The show, then be spamming me with 10-day questions throughout the show that would just basically break the flow of it and kind of interrupt everything, okay?
Yep, Merry Christmas, Jelly Crocodile.
To Hank Duma, who gave me a $10 tip. And Hank says, Phil, did you receive anything as a Christmas present from Santa this year? Also, very happy with the return of Poorly Cooking with the King. I'll talk about that in a moment, the Poorly Cooking with the King. In fact, I will mention that during my future plans discussion. That's going to be coming up during this segment, okay? This first segment of the show. So I'll talk about that in a moment.
First segment of the show.
Did I receive anything for Christmas today? No, you know, I live by myself now.
Oh my
God. I don't live with anyone else. My parents live on the other side of the country. My girlfriend doesn't live with me. She lives, you know, thousands of miles away. So, sadly, and I said this in the stream, this is the first Christmas in my entire life. 35 years old, I've never been alone on Christmas until today, okay?
Oh.
It's a bit of a bummer.
Oh my God, that is some begging right there. Pity me, I'm lonely on Christmas. I succeeded in alienating and chasing away everybody who ever cared for me or tried to be my friend. No one could give me presents because there's no one physically here, because you have to be physically somewhere to give people presents. On that note, just as a side note, if people could think and maybe post in the chat or under the video, I still have all those games I need to give out. Maybe like New Year's, I'll do a live stream and we'll watch Death and Rebirth together, or just Death, and I'll give them out during that. But if anybody has any ideas as to how they want me to just give out the games to you guys, let me know. But according to Phil, I can't give out those games because you're not physically in the room with me. It's very tragic. Phil's had a really, really hard life. None of this was his fault. There was literally nothing he could do about any of this.
I'm not gonna lie.
Well, he could have not stolen from people. He could have not been a dick to his parents. He could have not probably had an affair on his girlfriend, but it is what it is.
To a beautiful white Christmas. We had snow overnight. Beautiful. And the thing is, in Washington State, we don't often get snow where I live, and where I live also, when we usually get it, it's usually just like a dusting. We have like,
guys, I just have something I want to say. You might want to earmuff the kids.
Christmas Day. It's the perfect time. It looks gorgeous outside. And the other cool thing is, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not, I don't have to go out of my house or anything for a few days. So for me, I really don't care. It's not like,
someone should have sent him the Wolverine toy for Christmas. You're right, Jolly. That would have been amazing.
It really is.
He would have gotten so triggered.
It really is. It's very nice. It's nice to wake up to that on Christmas Day, especially when I'm by myself and I'm like, oh man, kind of a bummer. I'm by myself today, and I look at immediately I get, a nice, beautiful, warm Christmas snow in the morning. So that was nice. But no, outside of that, no Christmas presents for anything. My present is I get to spend the day with you guys.
That is so lame.
And do this kind of special,
so disingenuous.
Video / stream with you now.
I get to spend a stream, and you guys can give me money.
I get to do gameplay later tonight as well. So
wow.
It's fun to me because for me, oh no, Phil's working on Christmas. Technically it's work, but now for me, does this feel like work? No, it really doesn't. At one point it did. I'll be honest, for a few years there, I'd probably say around mid 2013, 2014 through maybe like 2016. It felt like, man, some days I'm just so tired I don't want to go to stream. I just want it's work. Now I don't feel like that anymore. I get up, I'm like, man, this is exciting.
Man, people are gonna give me money for doing nothing. This is awesome.
And people on the live streams really enjoy what I'm doing. It's so different.
I can just sit here and play a video game and
I was getting no positivity,
not do anything, and people just give me money.
I'm doing stuff right.
It's amazing.
What am I doing wrong? Then all of a sudden this year, I focus on Twitch, and everything changes. Everything's more positive. People are coming out in droves. Exponential growth on the
coming out in droves.
So obviously, I wasn't the problem. YouTube was the problem. YouTube became this gross, toxic place, while Twitch is kind of the opposite. So that being said, I'm happy to be here and to share my experiences with you guys.
Sorry guys, I gotta get this sound clip queued up.
Segment. However, I got a shout out to the Raven Org who did a 50-bit cheer, and he said a few weeks ago San Antonio got its first snow in like a few decades, so that's neat for me. Wow, that's pretty cool. That really is cool. That's cool to hear. So thank you for the cheer, and thanks for that cool sentiment. It's nice to know that people are having fun all around the country right now.
Okay guys, I might have to do this a couple times. I'm sorry. We need this soundtrack.
Everyone's pretty much getting a white Christmas unless they live in like a super hot, like Texas snow. They didn't get snow in particular today, but a lot of places are getting snow today, which is really nice for Christmas, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about 2017. Good Lord, what a year this year was, right? In my wildest dreams, did I predict the crazy amount of ups and downs? Why am I toxic?
Okay, so that was a little loud. I'll put that down a little. I just want that queued up in the background.
I would actually say this. There were 2 years in my life where things really went crazy. 2010, and that was the year, if you guys remember, that I had an office job. I had been working at this office job for about 5 years.
Oh my god, at the Palace of Airplanes, we know Phil.
I was doing everything right.
Everything right.
I had this big certificate that was awarded to me for going above and beyond at this job. I was getting raises and bonuses and everything when I was working at this job.
We fucking know Phil.
And all of a sudden in October of 2010, they laid me off out of nowhere.
You talk about it constantly.
At the time, I've been doing YouTube as a hobby for 2 years. I had never made any money on YouTube. Back then, it wasn't even possible to monetize YouTube.
We know Phil.
And wow, that blindside that was an eye opener. I was like,
are you kidding me? I just told this story for like the 50th time.
I could just lose my job out of nowhere on a whim, right? Yeah, that was pretty crazy. And then I would say probably the other crazy year was this year because of all the shit that happened, which I'm about to go through. I'm actually going to go through all of 2017 and just recap the stuff that happened in my life because what a year, ups and downs, man. A year of ups and downs for sure. Thank you to Mies for a $1 tip. He says, "Bonjour from France. Keep up the great stream. I really love your pre-streams. Thank you, Mies, for the tip. I appreciate that." So let's recap. Let's start. Let's actually. Holy shit! Is this real? Well, if this is real, this is a hell of a way to start off today's stream, folks. I hope it's real. I didn't even start talking.
I hope it's money.
I hope this is real. Did you guys see it? Did you guys see it? Or did it not pop up? Holy shit. Alright, so obviously I'm gonna tell you this. If this I don't know if this is we'll find out later today because I'll be able to check my PayPal and everything. Holy fuck.
Okay, I'm too lazy to do video
I just received a
audio cues.
$1,000 tip from Santa Claus. Wow.
Merry Christmas, Rad Russ. It's good to see you.
Thank you. Really?
Rad Russ, we should do a stream together soon. Just send me a message on Facebook. Just text me about when you'd be around and what you want to do one on, and we'll do one on my channel or yours. I've been meaning to do one with you. I've just been busy with work.
So I don't know if I'll be able to even tell who it was. But anyway, their message is, here's Santa's present for you to help with your tax predicament. Rooting for another 10 years of great entertainment. Wishing you and all of your fans and viewers a Merry Christmas and the best for the
Okay, what are the odds that Phil did this?
Wow.
Like 100%?
Again, I hope it's legit, and if it is, thank you very, very,
of course
very,
it is, because you're the one who did it.
Very, 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 very much. Really. Holy crap, man. That's crazy. Alright, well. Wow. Alright. Let's continue, folks. Wow. I hope that's real. Thank you to Captain DCW who just did 100-bit shares of Merry Christmas, Phil. Sorry, guys, that I'm kind of stunned. I am. I'm stunned. If that's real, I'm really stunned right now. If that was real. Because that, I mean, is going to help so much with this upcoming problem that I'm having.
That's like a fifth of what you have to pay.
For half the taxes that I owe at the end of January.
Wait,
I don't know
what?
I owe yet, but it may, like, have the issue. So thank you.
What?
Thank you. Okay. Alright. Let's talk about this year, folks. Holy shit. Wait,
okay, but I thought the taxes were going to be tens of thousands of dollars. He said that, you guys remember? He said the taxes are going to be tens of thousands of dollars. And I was like, no, the taxes are actually not going to be tens of thousands of dollars. They're going to be $2,000. But I need more money to help pay my bills because my taxes are so high. But a guy just donated me $1,000. And that's going to pay a big chunk of it, but I'm like, sorry guys, you understand what I'm saying, right? Like, just like the amount of money he owes. Like, I understand that he owes $6 gazillion. I think we can all like just put that in, that the number he owes, and this is enforced by law, is that he owes $6 gazillion. And not only does he owe that $6 gazillion, but the number keeps increasing all the time. And those of you who don't believe that he owes $6 gazillion are just haters, and you're neo-Nazis. So yeah, it's $6 gazillion, and fuck you if you disagree.
I'm gonna be so distracted during this session. Seriously, I'm gonna be so distracted.
Oh,
all right,
man.
So ladies and gentlemen, 2017, what a year.
Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, $1,000 is more than what I get paid after taxes a week. Oh wait a minute, this is $1,000 American. Okay, so that's what I get paid after taxes every 2 weeks for my like serious adult job. This guy's such a fucking piece of shit. He has the stuff this dude gets is he's so wealthy compared to most people.
Just so you guys know, to give you some perspective of how 2017 started, it already was tumultuous for me because every year, typically, at the end of the year, between the months of September to December, all right, on YouTube, I used to see a giant increase in viewership. I used to always get this big boost because I was playing popular games, all right, the big AAA releases, and ad revenue typically would go up at the end of the year because everyone was advertising for Christmas. So I would always see this big spike. And keep in mind,
Hey,
before
Super 360.
the vast majority of my income every month came from YouTube. That was my focus. Streaming, I made like nothing doing it. It was fan service for me. So for me, the live streams were just kind of, messing around. And, to share stuff live with you, but it wasn't like a focus of mine at all. It was always YouTube, YouTube, YouTube. The end of 2016, I saw no increase in viewership and no increase in revenue. So
yeah, because you suck.
Bills and, for taxes that were coming due and everything at the end of 2016, and it didn't happen. And so in 2017, I said, I got to do something drastic. I have to do something to make it so that I can make it through this year. And that's why, if you remember, in January of 2017, I did the Dark Souls Redemption run. I did this idea where, man, if I go back
hey,
and I play this game, all right, that I really,
Robert Murray, good to see you,
and by
my
the way,
friend.
I'm going to be checking my phone during this stream because I said if people pledge to my Patreon.
Oh, thank you, Terrible Coughing. Glad you could show up to me trying to make some money.
Okay. I did this redemption run in 2017 of Dark Souls. Now, I didn't know if anyone was going to care.
No one cared.
I did hit a funding goal in December to do this run in January, which was nice, on Patreon. So I had some extra Patreon funds in my pocket, which was nice.
I didn't think it was a goal. I think you just did it.
Massively successful.
Massively
People were coming out and
successful.
stream like crazy. People, surprisingly enough, which I didn't know would happen, were cheering and subbing to the channel in droves. Now, at this point, I didn't even accept tips yet. And actually, people were asking me, Phil, are you ever going to accept donations or tips because we'd like to do it? I was like, nah, I think things will turn around on YouTube. It's not a big deal. I think things will be fine. But that was actually it was that stream or those streams over a 2-3 week period where I played the Dark Souls Redemption run that I really feel people saw me streaming on Twitch and were like, wow.
The planets have aligned, and the planets are telling me, don't do Project 7. Go beg for money on YouTube.
And stuff going on. It's a better experience than just watching Phil kind of on demand where you don't have that interactive experience, okay?
No, it was better when they did have
the
the experience.
That I saw.
Like, the most entertaining stuff he did was back when there was no stream chat. I mean, that is, I think, objectively true, because back when there was no stream chat, there weren't a bunch of people in his chat basically just telling him what to do, like, hey Phil, to solve this puzzle, press this button. Argent, after that interview you did last week, I decided DSP is absolute trash. Yeah, so regarding that video, that interview, so the guy, I've talked to Cavalry, and he said he'd agrees to come back on. So he said he'd come back on, he'd do a Q&A, he'd take questions from the chat, I'll moderate, of course, and he'll answer whatever, like, people want. So, yeah. So hopefully we can get that all cleared out. I had a number of people who took shots at me for having him on, that I was, like, just giving an open-ended endorsement to everything he said, etc. And were asking me for proof. Maybe I'll do a summary of it later, Jolly, but I'm rambling, so let's get back to this.
I was like, man, if I were, and it was funny because some people were actually saying, I wonder if Phil's just going to become a full-time streamer at this point, because look how much better this event was. That was more of a stream-focused event than him just doing videos for YouTube.
Yeah, but your streams suck.
And that kind of planted the bug in my head that maybe this year I would want to focus more on streaming than anything else. But at that point, the bubble hadn't burst yet, per se, on YouTube. So I was still in the mindset, I'm going to keep doing YouTube full-time, and that's really how I'm going to continue on, all right? So, then, February came. And I'll be honest, folks, this is something I've never talked about, all right? Behind the scenes, just so you guys know, my relationship with my ex-girlfriend was not good, all right? We're at a point in our relationship, and I'm not going to get too private because it's a very private situation. Let's just say this way. Over the years that we have been together, things had changed dramatically in our lives. Things had changed dramatically with the quality of life, relationships with our family.
I mean, like, my issue is I actually like his playthrough, his original MGS playthroughs. Because there's, like, running jokes. He just has no idea what the hell he's doing. Like, I find it hilarious. Like just this sheer retardation and this sheer, like, his inability to do anything, I thought was all kind of like unintentional comedic gold. But he doesn't see it that way. So instead, what he does now is he just uses guides or just lets the stream chat tell him what to do, and that doesn't make for an interesting playthrough. Either you're like good at the game and you have a good personality and you can like compare it to other games, you can like talk about the history, the genre, you can do that, or you just like you're good at cracking jokes, or you're just a complete and utter failure like Phil is, and that could be fun to watch. But because he has stream chat now, he can fail, but he fails in a boring way. So yeah.
That way, honestly, a lot of the stuff that had happened to me that negatively affected my ex-girlfriend put a big strain on her. All right, in particular, the swatting incidents that happened in 2015. I know were a big game changer because we went from basically two people who were like, man, we're just having fun and we're young and we can do whatever, you know, do fun stuff out here now that we live together in Washington. And it basically became, man, now we're two people who basically people hate us. You know, I'm just trying to be on the internet having fun playing games every day. And we got people sending police to our house with guns.
Oh my god.
And then they swatted my ex-girlfriend's
father.
Well,
you stole money from people.
Nothing whatsoever to do with any of them.
Okay, is there any actual evidence that they swatted his ex-girlfriend's father? I'm not saying that like some SOK people wouldn't be hardcore enough to do that, but seriously, I can't recall anyone actually ever producing evidence that her father got swatted. I know he claimed they were afraid her wedding would get swatted, which made no sense because Leanna could have just gone. He could have not told anybody that she went, and that would have been fine. But yeah, nothing this dude says makes sense, to quote the almighty Tevin.
Our shit. And then there were threats to swat her brother-in-law or her half-brother's wedding. And when that happened, it was like so messed up, all right? And honestly, you know, things were never the same. You know, when that kind of stuff happens and you have that tenseness, it screws up stuff, personal stuff in life and in a relationship. And it was just so, because, you know, how are you ever going to have a safe life? How are you ever going to have a secure life? You know, you never know what's going to happen. What's the next financial crisis that's going to happen that's going to screw everything over? What's the next situation where your life might be threatened, right? And I can tell you right now, it was all those things that happened over the years.
Because no one else has these issues.
Early 2017, all right? It was
no one else is ever like wondering if they're going to be able to do it.
It was more like we were living together as roommates, all right? And I know that sounds really fucked up, but that's really what, you know, we were in a relationship for 5 years. We moved out here, and at first it was great, but over the years, as the trolling got worse, and the things concretely got worse for us financially, and trolling with swatting and everything bad, that's really when things started to fall apart, okay? Honestly. And, you know, it's not necessarily that there was blame to be had. It wasn't like we were mad at each other for the things that happened. It was just kind of like, oh, what the fuck do you do? How are we going to have a normal life when we have these crazy things that happen in our lives, and every day we wake up, we might have another life-altering, stressful event that could fuck with us completely. Whether it's YouTube, something going on with YouTube, and now I can't pay my bills, or whether it's getting DDoS attacked, so I can't stream today, whether the cops are showing up, whether we're getting trolled in another way. You know what I mean? When every day is something incredibly nasty.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to have to stop. This was just... There's so much, okay, to just talk about here. So, as Excalibur 2010 brings up, there was no reason for him to talk about the wedding. None. He could have just said, look guys, I have to go somewhere this week. I don't really want to tell you about it. It's none of your business. But I'm going to be gone this week. So, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. So, just don't mention it. Don't mention the time, whatever. Or you know what he could have done? He could have even just not told anybody who's going anywhere. Cue a bunch of videos up. Say that his internet wasn't working well. So he had to take a break from live streaming, and yeah, he could have done that. I mean, that would have been fine. Or he could have just said that we are going to the wedding, but let Leanna go. Because I mean, if he's not there, does anyone really care enough to swat Leanna? I don't know. Whether or not they actually swatted her father, I don't believe, because this is something they just came up with. It's And this whole relationship with his girlfriend thing, like, he acts like no one else has problems. Lots of people have financial problems. Well, like, the guy can lose his job, the woman can find out she owes money. There's, like, all kinds of things like this that happen all over the place on, like, a daily basis, Phil. You're hardly the only one who has been through a situation like this. This is something pretty much every couple goes through. And the fact that you two couldn't deal with this at all, given the fact that all of this is self-inflicted, at any point in time, you could just tell Pandalee, hey, Pandalee, just stop using your Twitter account. Go, if you need to use Twitter, just go make an anonymous Twitter account and use that. But that would have been the smart thing to do, and as we've said, people who run businesses don't think that way.
Screws with you mentally, physically, emotionally. It does.
Oh yeah.
Even if I not relate that to you guys on a daily basis, it takes its toll. And literally over years, what happened is our relationship kind of just fell apart to the point where it wasn't like we were significant others anymore. Like I said, it was more like, yeah, we're here, we share a house, but we weren't getting along to a point where it was like an intimate relationship anymore. All right. So
wait a minute.
Behind the scenes of all this stuff going on, there was always this. Oh,
wait a minute. Okay, so he's saying for a long amount of time, it was like they were just roommates, right? That's what he just said. I speak English properly, right? So he said for a long time it was like we were just roommates, and it wasn't romantic. Well, what about the fact that they got engaged like right before she moved out? So it wasn't romantic anymore, but they were involved enough to make the largest commitment. Okay.
Other thing going on emotionally between me and my ex-girlfriend that was kind of falling apart, and it just made it. It would be one thing. Oh God, I got false copyright strikes today, and this happened, and that. But then if you have someone who you can go fall into their arms at the end of the day and just feel good and feel supported, and you know it's better. We didn't even have that. That fell apart, and it's like when everything's falling apart, something's going to give at some point. All right. So all that's going on behind the scenes of early 2017. All of a sudden in February of 2017, all right, my ad revenue on YouTube, no exaggeration, goes down by 50%. So already I thought, oh, I was supposed to be making more at the end of 2016, and it didn't happen. And then all of a sudden in February, I make half as much money as usual. Now, it would have been one thing if I had diversified and I was making money on Twitch. I wasn't, okay? It was all YouTube revenue to pay my bills. Making half money.
Pay my bills.
What am I supposed to do? And I was in panic mode because I was like, this is it. I basically can pay my bills for 1 month, and if I don't make more money somehow in the next month, I can't even pay my bills anymore. And this is when I went to Machinima, all right? And I went to Machinima, who was my partner at the time. Remember, I've been partnered with Machinima on YouTube.
Wow,
for the longest,
really?
Since 2011.
I didn't even know
said,
that.
What is going on? You know, this is ridiculous. You guys didn't give me any warning. There was no warning. Did I do something wrong? Is this a glitch on YouTube? What is going on? That all of a sudden I'm making 50% less than I used to. I can't keep my house and pay my bills if this continues. All right. So Machinima tries to look into it, and sadly, this is what I learned over the years, folks. This is the sad truth. Machinima at one point was one of the big wigs on YouTube. They were a company that had a lot of clout. They had a lot of power and positioning on YouTube because they were one of the biggest partnership networks. If you wanted to be a successful gamer on YouTube, Machinima was one of those networks you wanted to be a part of. Over the years, Machinima declined and declined and declined. Every year, there was more negative press. There was more controversy. They screwed something up legally, okay? Every year, it got worse and worse and worse. And finally, you know, the bubble kind of burst in 2016 when behind the scenes.
I'm going to turn up the speed a little. This guy is just unbearable.
I had a person who was the head of the partnership program at
Okay, we know. You've
who I've been
told us
working with
this story.
personally in 2015 and a little bit in 2016 to work on copyright issues, copyright strikes, things like that. They laid the guy off and didn't even tell me. So I had no contact at Machinima. I didn't even know this. They didn't even bother to tell me, okay? So they laid off like half of the people who dealt with their partners. It was terrible, but they didn't tell anyone because they didn't want negative press, okay? So here it is. February 2017, all of a sudden my ad revenue on YouTube halves. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay my bills anymore. I contact Machinima, and Machinima is literally, I'm not even exaggerating, literally treating me like dirt. Like, whatever, we'll look into it, but stop bothering us. That's kind of the response I got from them. That was kind of like, we understand this is important to you, but just stop bothering us. We'll get you back to you when we feel like it. And I'm like, what? This is my livelihood. I could lose my house. I could lose everything. I could go into financial ruin because all of a sudden my YouTube revenue just dropped by 50%. And Machinima was kind of like, meh, who cares? And like, that's not the attitude to have.
That was not what happened at
Especially,
all.
I worked with them for over 6 years, right?
That was
being a
not
dedicated
what
partner for them,
happened.
sticking up for them when people told me year after year after year to leave them because they weren't reliable and because of the things happening behind the scenes that they were doing that were underhanded and bad. And I ignored all that. All right? and said, no, I'm going to be loyal to them, and I'm going to stick with them. And I stuck up for them for 6 years. And then all of a sudden, I
No, you didn't.
like, oh, well, so what if your revenue halved? We'll figure it out when we figure it out, all right?
Well, that's
and
not.
after
That's
2
not
weeks
what
of waiting for
happened at
answers
all.
and getting literally no answers whatsoever,
No, they did give
I
you
told them, I said,
answers.
this is how you're going to behave. I don't know if I want to be, with you guys anymore, because I have to be with a partner network that at least is going to try to get me answers and not just be like, meh. In reality, what I really think happened here is Machinima had no clout anymore. They had no ability to go to YouTube and get any answers, because YouTube just told them whatever, we don't care, and they had no clout. So their hands were tied, but being a network really being mistreated. Let me give you a specific example of what happened. I emailed the former head of the partner program, who I had directly worked with about a dozen times in 2015 and a little bit in early 2016 on issues just like this, whether it was copyright issues, revenue issues, whatever. I got a formal letter email back saying this person is no longer with the company, write this other person instead. So I did, and the next day I literally got an insulting email from Machinima saying, you're already in contact with us on this issue. Don't go around us and try to write other people in other departments. We're already taking care of this for you. How dare you? And I was like,
oh my
who
god.
are you to speak to me like that? You're basically disrespecting me because I might lose everything financially. You're not giving me answers. And then when I go to someone who's helped me in the past, you basically treat me like a small child and tell me not to try to seek out help. And that's what I told him. I said, I don't want to work with you anymore. Like, seriously, if this is how I'm going to be treated, I don't want to work with you anymore.
Oh, it looks like
And so at
it
that
seems
point,
to be having chat is
Machinima
having
decided,
trouble.
hey,
Sorry, I didn't
forget
even
it.
see
This
any
guy
of
looks like
that.
he's going to give us bad press anyway. Let's get rid of him. They canceled all my contracts. They basically said, at this point, we're just going to end all contracts with you. And I was like, all right, fine. That's kind of what I want anyway, since you guys aren't helping me at all. All right. Now, the bottom line is, I had.
Yeah, I just have to restart it.
I had another partnership network lined up. Okay. All right, now hold on. This is perfect.
No, I'm not working on my
Nick
book
actually
with a
gave me $1. He
typewriter.
said the following. He says, Phil, in my opinion, leaving Machinima was a bad choice. You were getting a managed partnership, and the falling out was over something stupid. No, it wasn't. The falling out was
There
not
we
over
go.
something stupid.
That should be fixed now.
Being disrespected by a company that's supposed to be the company that sticks up for you. A partnership company is basically supposed to be like your agent. They're supposed to stick up for you. They're supposed to seek out opportunities for you. They're supposed to get you the best ad revenue. And being disrespected by my company, basically being talked to like a child and being told we don't care about your concerns. Don't go to anyone else.
Okay, so for those of you who aren't aware, because this dude lies about everything, basically what happened is the adpocalypse hit and everybody's revenue massively declined. My revenue went down. Every revenue went down. They basically panicked, and their goal was, they were like, oh my god, we got to get advertisers back on board. Let's find anything remotely controversial. So they invented this god-awful flagging system, and this god-awful flagging system just didn't really work. So with the non-functional copyright flagging system, they just basically it just slaughtered everybody's revenue. And they tried to explain this to Phil. They're like, look, Phil, everyone's revenue's down. YouTube lost a whole bunch of advertisers. It's going to be rough going for a while. This combined with the fact that it's January, which is the lowest ad spending time of the year, it's just going to be a hard month. And they tried to explain this all to him, but he didn't want to listen. And then he's like, I want answers, damn it. I want to know why I'm making less money. And then they tried to explain it to him again. But he's like, I don't want that. I want to hear how I can make more money. And basically he just kept yelling at them. And he was like just sending emails to different people at his company, at their company. Like they even said to him, they're like, we're working on the issue, Phil. We'll get back to you once we have something from YouTube. And he's like, I'm not good enough. I'm going to lose my serious adult house. Fuck you guys. And then that basically happened. And then he got fired from Machinima over it. So, yeah. The only person, as with pretty much everything in his life, the only person he has to blame for the whole Machinima debacle is himself, his arrogance, his greed, and biting the hand that feeds him.
Handling it. Enough is enough. I knew going forward was going to be a toxic relationship with them, and that's why I knew I had to get out of there, all right? Now, here's the thing. I had another company who I'd been talking with behind the scenes for 2 years, all right? 2 years. And this company wanted to get me on board with a managed partnership. The only thing was they were going to pay me slightly. By the way, I apologize for my throat. As I told you guys, I went a little bit overboard, so my throat's a little messed up. It's going to sound messed up today. I'll probably get another lozenge in a moment, and I'm going to make myself a hot tea. So, anyway, I had another company lined up. For 2 years, they wanted to recruit me, all right? And they had a managed partnership lined up for me, which means I would not have to worry about content ID. I'd be able to monetize my Nintendo videos. The only thing was they were going to pay me less than what Machinima was paying me, ad revenue cut-wise. So I knew if I ever had a falling out with Machinima, okay, that I would be able to fall back on this. All right. So the day that this all happened with Machinima, I, excuse me, sent a private message to the person who was my contact at this company on Twitter. But I also knew this guy didn't read his PMs a lot, so I just sent him a general message. I tweeted him. I said, "Hey man, please hit me back. You know, I got something I'd like to talk about." The trolls, those dumb fucks who had swatted me, DDoS attacked me, false copyright strikes, who've done everything to make my life a living hell over the years, saw me tweet this fucking guy, and somehow figured out that this guy was probably the agent at the network that I was going to probably go to, and they literally, I'm not.
Why would you publicly tweet somebody? That doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, guys, let's do a business deal publicly over Twitter, because that's somehow going to be a good idea. To do a private business deal on a public social media website, not even through the messenger, because that might make sense, but like in non-private messages. And he thought that this was going to be a good idea. And as with everything, he's completely shocked that this did not work out properly. He's like, "This is bugged, man. This is bullshit. It's the haters." Just because I should know that these people stalk me and follow me everywhere. Yeah, I don't even know.
Exaggerating. Within a course of 2 days, spammed the fuck out of this partnerships company's social media accounts so badly that they had an internal meeting with the higher ups of the company discussing whether or not they would still be able to partner me.
No,
and
that,
everyone in the company
that
wanted
probably
me to be
didn't
there
happen.
and partner with them.
All
because
of
they
them.
were an up and coming company, they're not huge. They're not like Curse. You know what I mean? They're not a big company.
The company whose name we will never
they
mention
were afraid
again.
that because this trolling happened within 2 days, all right, of me seeking partnership with them, and the fact that they knew that there would be ongoing attacks and stuff against them, they were literally afraid that they wouldn't be able to continue, like, they'd get negative association.
It was not a spontaneous demonstration. It was a highly coordinated
assault. So they actually
assault.
rescinded their offer to partner me, which had been a 2-year standing offer to partner me under a managed partnership. They rescinded the offer because they didn't. It was too much of a liability for them being a smaller company. Okay. So again, I mean, all this stuff going on. Directors, all these people who've just been so out to hurt me in my life.
Yeah.
I've never met, who I knew nothing about.
That was entirely their fault.
All right, it's a really fucked up situation. So now I'm in a situation where not only am I out of my partnership with Machinima, I now can't even get the partnership with the company who I had lined up to be the next company that I wanted to work with because of the nasty.
What was I thinking of again? Yeah, I don't know what to say about this. Let's just keep this running.
To me, okay? It was a really fucked up situation. So now I'm faced with a situation where I need to try to find another partnership. And I'll be real with you guys, I seeked out with about 4 different companies and they all turned me down. And they all said it's because when we search for you on YouTube, we see negative shit. We see DSP is a pedophile, DSP is a thief, DSP is a
we see videos of you doing
all the
stuff.
Negative shit that people have made about me on the internet over the years, since that's the only thing you can find on YouTube when you search for me. No one wanted to partner me. Alright? No one. And it's a fucked up situation because what did I ever do wrong? None of it. All of it's slander.
It's all literally just videos of you talking.
About me is based on a snippet of truth that's blown out of proportion.
No, it's all in.
And because YouTube is based off of,
No, but Phil, it is. It's like every single one is literally a video of you talking, in context. The videos are like 10, 15 minutes long. They'll put like the entire section from your pre-stream. There is no bigger context to these. That's why they're so damning, and that's why they stick so much. It's not like when Phil Snort Burnell just takes a random clip of you saying, "I'm a faggot," and uses that out of context. It's like literally all the stuff people have on you is videos of you in context
videos that go
doing
viral
shit.
Because of drama. These people got all kinds of popularity and shit. Okay. So, seriously, it's just, it's ridiculous to the point where I couldn't get a partnership on YouTube because of this. And
because
I'm like,
you're toxic.
I knew the contracts with Machinima were ending. One was ending in March and one was ending in April for my 2 partner channels that I had with them.
Like, does Phil not realize that like very few people have this kind of hate that he does? Like, I don't have this kind of hate. I don't have people constantly like posting threats on my videos, trying to report me to people. Like, I don't have this issue. The only people who have this issue are like people who are really obnoxious or really toxic or have like beefs with just about everybody. But seriously, like, to who else does this problem exist?
I was like, what am I going to do? You know, what on earth am I going to do? So what I have to say, all right, and I mean this, okay? Thank God for you guys, because in the year 2016, you guys pounded me. And I don't mean in the butt. I mean, you guys pounded me with advice, good advice in 2016. You guys said, Phil, you may not realize this, but things are different over on Twitch right now. Things are much more positive. All the negative things, the reasons why you left Twitch, are changing. It would make sense for you to return to Twitch now because their streaming bitrate is being increased.
Thank you for your concern, Elephants, but no, I'm really not okay. Maybe I'll do a video about that soon. I was gonna do one tomorrow, but I was going to bed and I found this. But no, I had to do a video about that.
To Twitch streaming in November of 2016.
My bipolar's been really bad the last month. That and just real life
is owned by Twitch, who is owned by Amazon. So it's all one company. So when I applied for my partnership with Twitch, all right, they reviewed all my information and saw, oh, this is Darksyde Phil. This is the same guy who already streamed with us for years, went away and came back, and now he's doing good on streams. This guy's reliable. Let's do it. And they partnered me. And because of that, at least now I was making less money, but at least I was able to still make money on YouTube and basically kind of saved my butt temporarily because I knew I was going to be able to be partnered with Curse moving forward. So it basically saved my butt. Your advice to go back to Twitch spearheaded this kind of rolling events that allowed me to then be partnered with Curse and allowed all this positive stuff to kind of start happening in 2017. So thank you to everyone who was in touch with everything going on the internet. Thank you to those of you who gave me a really amazing advice. You guys literally saved my ass this year in more ways than one. We'll talk about it in a second, all right? Shout out to Vidar, who took me $25, and he says, keep doing your thing, Phil. Your stream games on the internet. What people hold against you is not usually about is usually about your personal life, and more often it's just fabricated news and stuff. You know, it's not true. If you're not a troll that wants to believe shit, you don't trust it. So basically, yeah, right. If you're not a negative person seeking out to be negative and to be nasty towards someone, you wouldn't trust the misinformation about me all over the internet. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of the stuff that's been negative said about me on the internet over the years, if you do no lie, 5 minutes of research, you can actually find Phil stole money from his patrons because he never made Project 7. That's 100% a lie. If you do 5 minutes of research, you'll get the truth and see how completely different the truth is, but they don't want to do that. They want to believe the negative and the nasty. If you're that kind of person that you spend your life wanting to believe the negative and the nasty about people, you have something inside that's disconnected from how you should be as a person. And you really got to seek out some kind of...
Yeah, but, well, Phil, you literally said that the changes to advertising was like a personal conspiracy. A personal conspiracy against you, so, yeah.
Positivity in your life, because if you're just negative all the time, believing the worst about everyone, that's going to be a really bad life you're going to have, you know? I'm not that kind of person. I'm not. Maybe at one point in my life I was, but I'm certainly not like that anymore, all right? All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue. So, during the month of February, the falling out with Machinima, I'm struggling. I'm trying to find someone to partner with throughout February and early March. Finally, in March, I find Curse, and I'm able to be partnered with Curse in March, so things are going better, all right? At least in regards to the business, I'm not in a mode where I'm in panic mode and I may completely lose everything, but the ad revenue issue on YouTube isn't resolved. I'm still making 50% as much as I did previously.
It goes back and forth. It's like 50%, 30%, 90%, 80%. It just kind of changes constantly. I think personally he's making 6 million% more.
So now I need to find a way to get out of the situation. So what do? I said, well, I am going to take the advice of many people, and I'm going to try to make streaming more of my focus. And if you guys aren't aware, it was actually the second week of March 2017 when everything changed, all right? I became more stream focused. If you remember, I was playing...
It was the year everything changed.
I became far more stream focused.
It was a new age. It was the end of history.
I was basically trying to change myself from being someone who, when I sit here and I play a video game, it seems like I'm in an isolation booth. I'm just by myself, and I'm just commenting on the game, commenting on the game, commenting on the game, and not doing anything.
Who would want to see that?
And changing that style into a more interactive style that had become more popular on Twitch. Reading people's messages in the stream chat. Responding to people who were cheering, subbing, and tipping, and giving them recognition for their contributions, right? It was a big change for me. Because keep in mind, I've been doing gameplay videos since 2008. So for 9 years, I've been doing things a certain way, and to on the fly try to adjust my style to be a more interactive style was a very different thing. I actually remember while playing Breath of the Wild, people were saying some wild stuff. People were asking me, what is your opinion on the LGBT community? What is your opinion on, you know, politics? And I'm like, this is wild. I'm trying to play a game, and people are asking me these wild, outlandish questions that have nothing to do with the game.
Wild, outlandish
questions.
questions.
You know what? Especially if you're playing a game where there's not a lot going on, it makes sense to kill the downtime with that kind of stuff, to fill it with that kind of content.
No.
You know, I'll be honest. The games I'm playing right now, I've been playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. The game's good for two reasons. Number one, because the game's so buggy on Xbox One, so much crazy shit happens, it's always entertaining to watch. But number two, there's a lot of dead time where you're just running around by yourself collecting items and looting, and that's
not good.
In the stream chat.
That doesn't
that's
sound like a good
game
game to me.
Popular on Twitch because it's a game that half and half. It's half interaction with your stream chat and half zaniness. All right.
That doesn't sound very good to me.
That being said, folks, I struggled in March to make myself more interactive, and I'll be honest, it was stressful. It was time consuming because I was trying to adjust to a more dedicated streaming schedule where people could come to the streams and be more interactive with me more on a regular basis. My schedule changed a lot during that period of time. And I saw, honestly, even more of a disconnect with my ex-girlfriend during that time period. It was more focus on work, to save the house, to save everything, and even more of a disconnect was happening behind the scenes with my girlfriend. All right. Then, in April, all right, I basically looked back at how things had gone in March, and things had gone really well. I went from making like no money whatsoever on Twitch to making a decent amount. Was it, oh my god, my revenue jumped ginormously and I was making tons of dough hand over fist on Twitch? No. But the revenue on Twitch had gone from like absolutely nothing to something at least significant. And I was like, wow, if I really keep at this, if I plug at this, right, and I stick with it, and I stay dedicated to doing the Twitch interactivity the way that I've done this month, okay, maybe by the end of the year, things could grow. Because what I was seeing on Twitch was potential for growth. Something I had never seen ever on YouTube since like 2012. I've been on the decline on YouTube. And YouTube just became more toxic towards me, more nasty towards me, more negative videos and slander about me, more this is how you don't play. And at that point, I was like, how am I ever going to grow the business when everything these people are doing is nasty viral shit against me for their own sake?
You could stop being nasty and viral.
Making those videos were doing it because they hated me? I don't think so. I think the reason they were doing it because they were getting viral views from the assholes.
Well, yeah, okay. I do it for money, but most people don't.
You know, I knew YouTube kind of.
I mean, okay, let me just see. Like, okay, I'm going to be honest here. Would I do these so often if I didn't get ad revenue? No, I wouldn't. I mean, I do these for like 3 reasons. 1, I find it interesting and I think it's a good learning experience. 2, because my viewers really like them and they always ask for them. And, excuse me. And 3, because you do make good ad revenue and you do get good views off of these. I'm not going to lie. A lot of people who make these videos do lie and monetize them anyways, but
the YouTube party was over. It was time to move on to the Twitch focus. And seeing the potential that I saw in that 1 month, just 1 month, I went from making nothing on Twitch to making a decent amount. I was like, if I stick out this, things could really turn around, okay? And so it was actually April on where I changed my focus completely to be, I want to be a stream-oriented guy. I want to be a guy who every single day when I come out to stream, that's my focus, to entertain the people on stream, to give you guys a fun, entertaining experience that feels more interactive, because that's going to get people to cheer, sub, and tip. That's going to get more people to come to the streams every day, and it's going to make things great. And I'll be honest, from then on, for the rest, every month, more subscribers, more viewers, more revenue. Every single month that I've been doing this on Twitch, it's gotten better, okay? And I couldn't be happier in that regard, all right? But while all that was going on, right, while all that was happening, behind the scenes with my ex-girlfriend, things were falling apart to the point, like I said, it was more like we were just roommates. And a lot of people have asked me the question, Phil, how on earth could you get engaged to someone and then within a month break up with them? How can that happen? How could you have gotten engaged in April and then
this is going to be good. I've been waiting for this answer for like a year now. Let's see how this goes.
In May, it doesn't even make sense. The truth of the matter, folks, and this is something I have not talked about until today, so big reveal here.
Okay, big reveal.
The engagement was legit, but it really was a band-aid on an already broken relationship, all right? Already, we had multiple discussions where we were not happy where we were, and we had wanted to, if you remember at that point, I made it so that instead of only having a half day where we went out and did errands together, instead I was taking a whole day, so basically my ex and I could spend personal time together and then run and do our errands and everything, so it would be a better day. But even then, we were taking days, and we were like, what do you want to do today? I don't know. What do you want to do? I really don't know. I'm stressed out. I really don't care. Well, then let's just fucking do whatever. And it wouldn't matter. It would be like a wasted day. We wouldn't do anything significant or anything fun together because really it was kind of like we were so stressed out about everything else, we just didn't care. And that was terrible, you know? So what ended up happening was I had purchased an engagement ring for my ex-girlfriend almost a full year beforehand, all right? And the plans that we had made were that, gee, if things finally get financially stable, we wanted to go to California together. We wanted to do a mini vacation. It wasn't going to be like a long, expensive vacation. Maybe 2 or 3 days in California where we could go to like Universal Studios for a day or Disneyland for a day. And I would propose to her there, okay? And then it would be kind of a fun, magical event that we would remember for the rest of our lives. And yeah, it might be where we come back and we're not able to get married right away because of all the stressful financial stuff going on back home. But at least we're engaged and we can be happy that one day we're going to get married. And then it was kind of like, well, time passes, more financial shit happens, we can't go, more stressful stuff happens. Now we're not going too good together, you know, to the point where it was like the ring's just sitting here, and it's like, when's it going to happen? I don't know, you know. And I didn't just want. And one day I remember we just kind of sat down, we were laying in bed together, and we looked at each other, and she said to me, you know what? You should just give me the ring. Because
Phil, you do realize that, like, there are people in the world who get married without going to California. There's, like, billions of married people in the world, and most of them didn't get engaged in California. I know this might be a very strange concept to try to explain, but I don't know.
we're never going to find a perfect time. It seems like this is our life now. Every day is just constant stress. You don't know if we're going to be able to pay the bills. We're probably never going to be able to go to California. Just give me the ring. All right, so I did, you know, and it really was completely unromantic. And she put the ring on, and we took a picture for Instagram or whatever. And, you know, that's what I mean. Like, it really wasn't legitimately, it didn't seem like it was like a legit engagement because already things had been so falling apart. And a real, honestly, what it felt like was...
This doesn't feel like the truth at all.
Like I said, a Band-Aid. Things were already falling apart. Quick, let's get engaged, and maybe things will magically become better. Well, no surprise. We had like 1 or 2 days that were better, and then things went right back to normal, where I was worried about financially, would I be able to pay everything? She had kind of more gone off and focused on her own life. She was real focused on her job at that point. She wanted to get promoted to her job and maybe go full-time, in which case if she's working full-time and I'm working full-time, now we're not even going to see each other even less, right? And so behind the scenes, things just kept falling apart, all right? Now, I'm not going to tell you the full story because there's a lot of other stuff that happened too.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, by late April, the whole relationship had fallen apart, all right? Within 3 weeks of us getting engaged, the whole thing had just, you know, blown up to the point where we weren't getting along anymore. I was working, and we would have we would eat dinner together, and then we wouldn't even see, like, I would work again, and I wouldn't even see her because she would go to sleep.
She would make dinner for him.
So I would be up at night watching
because
stuff
he
myself.
couldn't cook himself.
We wouldn't even have significant time. It was like we were avoiding each other. Our schedules didn't even coincide anymore. So it really was like we were just roommates sharing a house rather than, like, you know, a couple, an engaged couple.
No other couple has ever made something
basically
like
we had a big
that
blow
work
up
before.
Around the end of April, a big blow up, to the point where it was kind of agreed upon that was it, that it was over. But we knew exactly what would happen if we announced this publicly to the world, especially after just getting engaged. More negativity, more snoops in our lives, more people trying to fuck with us and find private information and be just fucking nasty to us in general. So we kind of decided together we're not going to tell anyone. We're just going to pretend like we're still together, all right, until a time.
Okay, none of this sounds like the truth. Absolutely none of this sounds like the truth. The other thing is, does everyone remember when he said that I'm not going to tell you anything about my girlfriend. I'm just going to make this one twit longer saying we broke up. It's nobody's business but ours. So this is the only time I'm going to talk about it. And now he just keeps talking about everything. Like, he brings it up constantly. He doesn't have to do this. He could just not mention it again and no one would be able to use it against him. But he can't help himself because he has no one else to talk to.
When she's kind of moved out and things, you know, the truth of the matter was I didn't tell you guys that I had broken up with my ex for like almost 2 whole months after she was gone. So she had been gone for a while and I was doing stuff by myself. And it was funny because I remember during that time period, all right, I was doing Twitch and Chill stream. Remember the Twitch and Chill events that I had been doing? So I was doing Twitch and Chill stuff. And while I was doing the Twitch and Chill stuff, people were being trolls. They were coming in and saying, haha, Leanna, and this and that. And I was already broken up with her for a while. So for me, honestly, it wasn't even stinging at all because it was like, you're insulting my ex who I haven't talked to, I don't have that relationship with anymore. But people didn't know that. So people were coming in purposely trying to be nasty to me and it had no effect on me because already the relationship had kind of been over for a while. All right. So
IRL on TJ.
Yeah, it all kind of fell apart in that regard.
Know.
And it sucked. You know, it did because it was funny. It was like when things were going bad with everything else, the relationship falls apart, and then things started to go good with business. Like I told you guys, the streams were picking up. People were being positive again. There was growth on Twitch. And here I am trying to show a happy face every day. Having so much fun, you know, streaming on Twitch, and then in real life behind the scenes, everything was going wrong or had gone wrong. And you know, it put a lot more stress on me because previously, the way that my life was I wake up, I spend some time with my ex-girlfriend, right? Whatever, setting up in the morning. I work, but then when my work's done, now we have a shared meal, so she's cooking or whatever. A lot of the responsibilities of the house were shared. I had more income because of her income was contributing to the house budget and everything. And then when we broke up, less money, no one cooking for me anymore. You know, it was basically a giant, no moral support. That was the other thing. If anything went wrong, I was on my own. I, didn't have anyone again.
Yeah, because you have no friends because you stole from them all. And they left you because you stole money from them. Because you decided that making the extra couple bucks was more important than friendship.
It's one thing when things go wrong, but you have someone to go to at night to have moral support and have someone physically be there for you to encourage you. And that completely went away from me. And it was devastating. But I couldn't tell anyone. Because if I did, I knew the negativity that would explode on the internet when all this was happening. So, all that happens, and remember, during the months of April, May, June, my streams are going good. People are coming out for my streams and really enjoying the streams and everything, right?
Tip and sub and sharing.
It's amazingly positive, but behind the scenes, my life is a mess. I'm alone. I'll be honest, guys. I started drinking, which you shouldn't do, especially when you're depressed. But I did. I started drinking, way more than a person should. At night, I was getting drunk every night. I was having some issues getting to stream some days because I was feeling so depressed.
Okay, I'm sure.
Losing the relationship behind the scenes and everything, and not being able to share that with you guys, right? Was another major thing. Really, the only people who knew about it were my parents. And what are they going to do? They live on the other side of the country. It's not like they could be there for any kind of support besides just telling me, we're sorry that what happened or whatever, and we're going to stick up. Basically, just keep plugging forward and life will get better for you, as much as a parent could. So all that happening, right? And if you guys remember, it basically what ended up happening was Leanna was doing very little stuff on the internet, or what she did was kind of stuff to mask the fact that we had broken up. And all of a sudden she started posting pictures from like her new place, a cat that lived with her and stuff like that. And people were like, Phil doesn't have a cat. What is this a picture? You know what I mean? Now keep in mind, this was months after. Oh, by the way, the one thing that I forgot to mention, all right? The one thing I forgot to mention was when
none of this sounds
my
like the
ex-girlfriend
truth.
had a situation at work where she had a panic attack, and I had to leave a stream and rush to the hospital. All right, that had happened. We'd already broken up, and she was already in the process of moving out of the house and everything when that happened. All right, and so for me, I was kind of like in a messed up mindset where, oh no, I had to leave in the middle of a stream, and people wanted to know what the hell was a family emergency, and I told people what happened, and some people took that the wrong way. Oh my God, Phil's telling people about his girlfriend's private business.
Yeah,
and all
why did he do that?
At that point, there was already so much fucked up stuff. I'm not gonna get into it because there's some real fucked up stuff that happened between me and her before that day that had really gotten to me. All right, and basically there was some very hurtful things that had happened to me, and I wasn't in the right mindset. And no, in retrospect, should I have come back that day and immediately told everyone, oh, the reason that I had to leave my stream earlier today was because my girlfriend had a panic attack and had to be rushed to the hospital, and then I had to go there to help her or whatever. No, probably I shouldn't have done that. At the same time, you guys didn't know she wasn't my girlfriend anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't know that. So you thought, oh, how am I mistreating my girlfriend? In reality, she wasn't. This was actually someone who I was not really on good terms with, okay?
Okay, but you lied about this. Like, didn't he say my girlfriend? He said we're a family at that point. I remember that. Didn't they say that Leanna and I are a family? We work together, or we have to look out for each other. So I don't know. Just nothing about this story makes any sense. As Tevin is so fond of saying, nothing this dude says makes any sense. So like, it was okay that yeah, you're right, Ty Webb. So the feeling was mutual, and they left on good terms, but now they didn't leave on good terms. And she was his girlfriend and his family when the panic attack happened, but actually she wasn't, and he didn't want to go to the hospital to get her because nothing about this story makes any sense.
She was in the process of moving out and everything at that point. So really hurtful stuff had happened between us recently that I was not in a good mindset in regards to her. Quite frankly,
she thing to do.
I didn't have to go to the hospital all that day. I didn't, because she already had friends and stuff that could have helped her. But apparently she had told the people at work that she wanted me to go to the hospital to get her. I don't know the full story. The bottom line is, I went to the hospital and basically she was like, yeah, you're here, whatever. And, okay.
That's not how he told the story back in the day. I mean, nothing about this makes any sense. Like this all so like what he's saying. This dude here, this dude with the "Let's Get Out" hat, is saying, okay, guys, I completely lied to you 6 months ago. Everything I said 6 months ago was complete bullshit. I just pulled it out of my ass. I made the whole thing up. Everything, like, so, but like, okay, so don't believe what I said then, but believe what I say now. So don't believe me when I said she was my girlfriend. Don't believe the engagement. Don't believe any of this other stuff. But believe everything I'm saying now. Okay.
Hey, take me home.
I admit I lied to
within
you.
Another couple of days, she had completely moved out. So it's funny because, you know, people are so mad at me. And, oh, did you hear what Phil did to his girlfriend? She had a panic attack and he told the world about it. That's mental illness and you shouldn't have exposed. In reality, that wasn't the case. In reality, I was in the wrong mindset because of the breakup had already happened. And she was already on the way out the door. But in reality, no, I probably shouldn't have said that publicly to everyone on the internet.
Then why did he claim he was going to have to pay for her health bills? And why was he yelling about how the hospital, how like she could have died? I don't know.
Although, the same day, she posted up pictures on the internet about, yeah, I was in the hospital and I'm okay and everything. So, already she had told the world too, so it wasn't like she was angry at me for doing it or anything like that. Let's put it that way. Okay. So, all that going on behind the scenes.
Yes.
Things are going good, right? So now, business-wise, things are going good. Business-wise, my streams are doing well. I'm making more money, right? Twitch is actually growing every month. I'm making more money on Twitch, which is good. People are liking the new interactive streams. People are liking the way
Fuck my girlfriend. I don't care about her. All I care about is my Twitch dollars.
I'm covering everything. April, May, June, into the summer. But my whole personal life is falling apart. I'm living here by myself. I don't have any in-person friends out here in Washington. The person who I moved out here to live with, we had a major falling out, broken up with. Not on good terms with, moved out in a huff, basically. And that's why a lot of people are saying, oh, Phil, why don't you rent out your extra room? That room is still full of her shit, which she's never coming back for. She left here in a huff, taking only the stuff she wanted, all right, and left a bunch of junk for me. And that room has shelving, a desk, a ton of shit from her business, a ton of stuff that's just lying around. I'm not talking, tons of sellable soap that I can sell for a profit. It's junk. It's stuff she tried to make and it failed, but she never fucking threw it out.
Oh my God.
Ingredients, colorants, things that I'm never going to do anything with, and I need to throw out, but I haven't had a chance because I'm working my ass off,
Because I'm working my ass off. I don't have time to empty trash. Because I remember when he did his video on when his parents came to help him clean up the house, he apparently had bags of trash from the previous people who owned the house sitting there for 3 years. He said he couldn't take 5 minutes to take the bags of trash out to the curb because he would have lost his house and he would have been taking time away from the business. So yeah, he's so lazy. He's so just... Oh.
I'm here every day, work to try to pay my bills and make ends meet because I'm by myself now. And I haven't even had a chance to clean out her office or do anything in there because I'm just too busy. And
too busy.
Another thing that a lot of people don't understand about Washington State, like someone literally in the stream chat, just throw all that shit in the dumpster. Well, this is a green state, folks. You don't even know what that means. There's no dumpsters here. The way it works is we have a regulated trash removal. That means I have one trash can. This is not an exaggeration. I have one trash can that I'm allowed to fill and empty, have that be removed every 2 weeks. One trash can every 2 weeks. If I want to throw out more than one trash can, they charge me $50 per can. Okay? So just imagine that room, all the shit in that room. That's probably 3, 4, 5 cans worth of shit there. If I were to empty out that room and throw it out, I'd be like $300, which I don't have, right? I'm already struggling to pay my bills to make ends meet. I don't have $300 to throw away the shit. And that's how it actually works in Washington. Yeah. So if I lived in Connecticut we had a dumpster. I would have literally day one thrown all that shit the fuck out, and I would have been using that room for stuff for the business. And
that is actually true. Okay, I looked it up.
I can't.
They actually do charge that much.
Clean up that room and do anything with it.
So that's that is actually not bullshit. Yeah, looking at this in Seattle to get an extra garbage can is like $50, which is nonsense.
That's how bad it fucking is here when it comes to being green and everything. It's ridiculous, right? So here I am. I'm busting my ass every day on stream, trying to do entertaining stuff for you guys. And I am, and people are loving it, and the revenue on Twitch is going up and up. But behind the scenes, my whole life is falling apart, and I can't really do anything to change things or fix things because I'm stuck here working my ass off to pay the bills, and you guys weren't even aware of what was going on behind the scenes, right? All right, well, folks, I've now talked for an hour straight. By the way, let me do a couple shout-outs. Shout out to High Tech Specs, who did a 300-bit cheer and said it's amazing how much you've been through since you started on YouTube. You suffered and lost much along the way, but you're still here and have found a way to overcome the negativity. That's why I think everyone will work out. Everything will work out with your house. Life finds a way, as Ian Malcolm said in Jurassic Park. Never give up. Thank you very much for that, High Tech Specs. And then I forgot did a 100-bit cheer and said it's amazing how much you've been through since you started on YouTube. You've suffered and lost much along the way, but you're still here and have found a way to overcome the negativity. That's why I think everything will work out with your. Oh, wait a minute, it's the same cheer. What the hell? I got a cheer from High Tech Specs, and I've forgotten to have the same exact text. Maybe that's a glitch. I don't know if that's a glitch with Muxy or whatever. That's bizarre. Thank you for the cheers, though, guys. Uchimahadara, 1080 to the 10-bit cheer and said Poonhammer. Okay. And very briefly, let me check.
I bet there's other ways of dealing with this.
No one has pledged to Patreon.
You can. There's probably a dump you can go to. There's ways of getting rid of it.
I'm going to take a break. You hear my voice is hoarse. I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to make a tea for myself, and I'm going to come back and continue, because I'm not even done with my story. I'm only about halfway through what the stuff that's happened this year. Okay? So, I'll be back. I'm going to take a break. If you're watching this live on stream, I'm going to take about a 15-minute break. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is the end.
Well, guys, that's all I really wanted to cover. I'm exhausted, as you might be able to hear, and I'm going to go to bed. So, have a Merry Christmas. I guess a Happy Boxing Day now, and I'll talk